meine Arbeit für richtig hältst, ob du glaubst, dass ich fleißig gewesen bin, dass ich gearbeitet habe, dass ich mich in diesen Jahren für dich eingesetzt habe, dass ich anständig meine Zeit verwendet habe im Dienste meines Volkes. Gib du jetzt deine Stimme ab. Wenn ja, dann tritt für mich ein, so wie ich für
Hitler's
dich
rise and fall. Timeline. The key events in Adolf Hitler's life, including his childhood in Austria, his decisions as Fuehrer of Germany, his leadership in the Second World War, and his eventual suicide. Hitler's birth and childhood. Adolf Hitler is born on April 20, 1889 in Braunau in the Empire of Austria-Hungary. His parents' families are both of poor peasant backgrounds. His father, Alois, becomes a customs official and expects Adolf to follow a career into the civil service. Hitler's mother, Klara, is of a more compassionate nature, adoring and indulging her son. At the age of 6, Adolf attends school and, while clearly intelligent, he is uninterested in formal education. The death of his father when Adolf was 13 releases the pressure on him to get a job working for the civil service. Adolf is able to pursue his preferred choice of study, that of art. 1907. Hitler moves to Vienna with the aim of attending the Vienna Academy of Art, but his application is rejected. His disappointment is compounded by his failure to also get into the Vienna School of Architecture due to his inability to provide a school leaving certificate. 1909 to 1913. Without any means of money, Hitler struggles to survive in Vienna, living in a men's hostel. He sells postcards which he's drawn of famous sites and undertakes a series of menial jobs to earn money. During this period of poverty, Hitler engages in much political activity, attending meetings, absorbing political newspapers and literature. 1913. Faced with military service for the Habsburg Empire, Hitler takes action to evade this by moving to Munich in southern Germany. Here his life continues much as before, until world events change the course of Hitler's life. 1914. At the outbreak of the First World War, Hitler volunteers for service in the German army and joined the 16th Bavarian Reserve Infantry Regiment. He is being promoted to corporal and decorated with the Iron Cross for services as a runner on the Western Front. 1918. At the time of the armistice, Hitler is lying in hospital suffering from temporary blindness due to a British gas attack in Ypres salient. He returns to his regiment in Munich later in the year. 1919. Intent on remaining in the army, having found real purpose to his life, Hitler is appointed to the intelligence propaganda section where he undertakes political training. His activities involve making speeches to the troops advocating German nationalism and anti-socialism, where he developed further his oratory skills. He also acts as an army informer, spying on small political parties. He joins the German Workers' Party, an extreme anti-communist, anti-Semitic right-wing organization. Hitler's entry into politics. 1920. Hitler is discharged from the army. In the German Workers' Party, he undertakes responsibility for publicity and propaganda. He changes the party's name to the National Socialist German Workers' Party, or Nazi for short. The party represents a combination of intense hatred for the politicians who they considered had dishonored Germany, by signing the Versailles Treaty and exploiting local grievances against a weak federal government. 1921. Hitler challenges Anton Drexler to become leader of the Nazi Party. After initial resistance, Drexler agrees and Hitler becomes the new leader of the party. 1923. Along with other right-wing factions and General Ludendorff, he attempts to overthrow the Bavarian government with an armed uprising. The event became known as the Beer Hall Putsch. Hitler and 2,000 Nazis march through Munich to the Beer Hall to take over a meeting chaired by three of the most important individuals in Bavarian politics. The following day, the Nazis march in the streets, the police open fire. Hitler escapes, but is captured, tried for treason and serves 9 months in Landsberg prison. It was during his imprisonment that he began dictating his thoughts to Rudolf Hess, which emerged in the book Mein Kampf, My Struggle. 1925. Hitler refounds the Nazi Party. September 1930. In the general election, the Nazi Party increases its representatives in parliament from 14 to 107. Hitler is now the leader of the second largest party in Germany. 1931. Hitler challenges Paul von Hindenburg for the presidency, but fails to win. Hitler's rise to power. 1932. Hitler becomes a German citizen, enabling him to stand in the presidential election against Hindenburg. Became the first person to electioneer by aircraft, the campaign was entitled Hitler over Germany. January 1933. Hitler becomes chancellor of a coalition government, where the Nazis have a third of the seats in the Reichstag. 1933. The German Reichstag is destroyed by fire. The plot and execution is almost certainly due to the Nazis, but they point the finger at the communists and trigger a general election. March 1933. The Enabling Act passed, powers of legislation passed to Hitler's cabinet for 4 years, making him virtual dictator. He proclaims the Nazi Party is the only political party permitted in Germany. All other parties and trade unions are disbanded. April 1933. Communist Party banned. October 1933. Hitler withdraws from the League of Nations. In the following months, he trebles the size of the German army and ignores the arms restrictions imposed by the Treaty of Versailles. June 1934. Night of the Long Knives. Hitler crushes all opposition within his own party, thus eliminating any of his rivals. Hitler's Third Reich. July 1934. After the death of President Hindenburg, Hitler becomes Fuehrer and Reich Chancellor, and abolishes the title of President. 1935. Hitler rearms Germany with the aim of undoing the Treaty of Versailles and uniting all the German peoples. Military conscription is introduced. March 1938. The Austrian Chancellor, leader of the Austrian Nazi Party, invites the German army to occupy Austria and proclaim a union with Germany. September 1938. British Prime Minister Neville Chamberlain meets Hitler in Germany. Britain, France, and Italy sign the Munich Agreement, which gives the Sudetenland, the German-populated borderlands of Czechoslovakia, to Germany. November 1938. In what is historically referred to as Crystal Night, 7,500 Jewish shops are destroyed and 400 synagogues are burnt. The attack is portrayed as a spontaneous reaction to the death of a German diplomat by a Jewish refugee in Paris. It is actually orchestrated by the Nazi Party, who also kill many Jews and send 20,000 to concentration camps. Crystal Night is considered to be the beginning of the final solution and the Holocaust, which you can study in more depth. The mass killing represented by the Holocaust raises many questions concerning the development of European civilization during the 20th century. Hitler and World War II. 1939. Peace treaty with Russia secured with the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact. Hitler invades Poland on September 1st, and after 3 weeks of lightning war, or the Blitzkrieg, the country is divided between Russia and Germany. On September 3rd, France, Britain, Australia, and New Zealand declared war on Germany. 1940. The Nazis occupy Denmark, Norway, Holland, Belgium, and France. Romania and Yugoslavia are invaded. June 1941. Germany attacks Russia, ignoring the peace pact. Operation Barbarossa, the German invasion of Russia, begins. December 1941. Japanese Air Force attacks Pearl Harbor, and war is declared on the US. January 1945. Soviet troops enter Nazi Germany. The 22nd of April, 1945. Hitler decides to stay in Berlin to the last. The 26th of April, 1945. Berlin completely besieged by the Soviet army fronts of Marshals Konev and Zhukov. Hitler's death. The 30th of April, 1945. Hitler commits suicide with his wife of 2 days, Eva Braun. Their bodies are believed to have been cremated. Thank you.